Sri Lanka has just left its benchmark interest rate unchanged at a 3-year low, and the central bank is seeking to stoke economic growth after the end of a near 3-decade civil war. Let's get more on this decision, and we'll bring in Ajit Cabral, who is the central bank governor of the Sri Lankan Central Bank, and he joins us on the line from Colombo. Mr. Cabral, thank you so much for making time for us today. Let me just ask you about this interest rate decision, leaving interest rates unchanged. What does that mean for your outlook on the economy? Do you see bright spots?
Yes, of course. We have been cautious in our monetary policy over the last few months, although we have been relaxing it as well. So it is a cautious kind of approach that we have been having. And we want to be sure that the inflationary pressures that have been affecting our country for so many years is now finally over. So that is the reason why we have been a little cautious, perhaps more than other countries. But I think it's the right decision because towards the latter part of the year, we will have the space. If we wish to move to a more greater relaxation, we can do that at that time.
Yeah, why don't you take advantage of the fact that inflation is at a 5-year low? This may be what investors are thinking, maybe second-guessing your move. But if inflation is at a 5-year low, you have room to cut interest rates now.
Yes, of course we have. But at the same time, we want to be sure that by the end of the year that we will not be having an inflationary tendency that is on the up. We do know that the point-to-point will increase slightly as the year progresses. But at the same time, we think that the time would be a little later than now because we do see sufficient space even within the economy now for people to take more proactive decisions. So once that kind of space has been utilized, then we would be more inclined to relax it further.
But there is concern about the Sri Lankan economy right now, especially as you see exports declining for a 7th straight month. You also have GDP growth at its lowest in 6 years. I guess some people are wondering, maybe the economy needs help now, especially from the central bank.
Well, we have been looking at that overall, and we find that although the exports are reducing, it has been reducing at a much lesser pace than the imports. And our balance of payments is strong. We have seen growth which we estimated at 2.5%, which is, of course, higher than many other countries, being revised up to 3.5%, particularly as a result of the optimism that has been generated within the economy after the war. So we think it's on the right track, and we don't want to overreact to this situation as well. And the steps that we have taken has created the sufficient space for people to have economic activity, and it is on the rise. And I think we would see the reactions in a stronger manner in the next few months.
Okay, Governor Cabral, let me just ask you this. What do you need to see and what are you closely monitoring that would impact your interest rate decision at the next meeting? I mean, what do you need to see before you'll cut interest rates again? We
would like to see the banks also reducing their own rates to some extent. We think that their interest rates have not come down as much as we would like to see that happening. So in time to come, in the next 1 month or so, we would be watching that carefully. And if that is also happening, we will see a greater relaxation taking place.
Okay, Governor Cabral, thank you so much for your time today. Ajit Cabral, Governor of the Sri Lankan Central Bank.